So you can see it's in February with snow on the ground. Still, it's pretty darn cold. And I'm using a Pentax K5 with the 31mm f1.8 lens. See, I didn't bring my gloves, which was a bad idea, but it was alright. I'm also using a shoulder strap and holster bag. The bag could only fit the camera itself, lens, an extra battery, and an extra memory card. So let's get to the photos. I'm going to start with the lowest quality first. So this was actually the first photo I took. I'm not sure what my goal was there, but it didn't work out. See, the photo's kind of blurry and an odd angle. There's nothing really interesting about it. So I was 1/160th of a second at f7.1. Looks like I was using program mode or something in automatic settings. Then keep going here. Photo's not sharp for some reason. Might have been misfocused, or might have moved the camera as it was exposing the photo. And then another case of that. I think what happened here was that I used center point autofocus and then I recompose. I probably moved the camera and didn't give myself enough time before taking the photo, and it was motion blurred by myself. So this photo here just seems kind of bland. Nothing too interesting about it. This one, the composition feels off. Got some odd lines, and he's standing right in the middle of the photo. So, and I was trying to do some symmetric type photo here, but I was off. Didn't get the symmetry quite right, and I kept trying. I eventually got one that looked good, but took quite a few tries to make that happen. See more blur. This one is actually manual exposure. Huh. See, the shutter speed is too slow. I was probably moving it, shaking a little bit too from the cold. This is some type of vehicle that was left abandoned. Not too interesting, really. Okay, so that was about it for the bad photos. As you can see, just some mishaps with focus or using slow shutter speeds. And then also some odd composition. But, of course, those are things you always work on and try to deal with in the field as you're taking photos. So here are some of the ones that I liked out of the group. This one, he's over off to the side, and it's showing what he's taking a photo of. It feels like a good connection there. I could probably lighten this up a bit more in Camera Raw, but I like the composition of that. And the sky's not blown out completely, so that works. This one too, I caught him balancing on the rail line. I took 1 or 2 photos of this, but this one felt a lot better. He was also doing something too, but it kind of works with the photo. This one just felt good with the symmetry again. 2 rail lines crossing into different paths. And you've got the nice large structure that it's kind of interesting to look at. As we were walking, it took quite a while from point A to point B, which was the bridge that we were walking to. Just some random photos of that. See a nice large aperture. It's actually f2.8. Then I took quite a few photos of the sun with that. I wanted the sun to be nice and bright. This photo was quite a bit more interesting, I think, compared to the one up here, that feels off. The lines don't feel right, and then the sun wasn't in the photo as I had eventually wanted it to be in there. So this one might be a little bit blown out, but I like the framing of it. You've got the black subject here, all black clothing on the white snow. Still looks pretty good. That's kind of a golden ratio framing. This one I think I was focusing on the sign here, but I like all of the straight lines kind of crossing paths. This was taken on the rail bridge. Didn't want to venture out too far because of all the snow. As you can see, and there are gaps which you can't really fall through, but it's kind of disconcerting to walk on that. This photo, I guess it's pretty good. It's sharp. Not sure I like the composition too much, but it has some interest to it with the subject. Show him walking out onto there. Another one, I just like how it was framed. The reason we went out was because he bought this NEX 5N. He wanted to try it out. As we went in a different path, kind of showing all the brush and things. Usually photos with so much brush are really difficult to make interesting, but this works out with the subject here. You can see he's kind of getting through all the difficulties. This one I really like with the reflective water, and you can see some graffiti, which kind of works to pull your eyes to. The bridge looks pretty nice and sharp too, but I think the water really makes the photo jump out. Then we went onto a snowmobile path. This was taken with a nice large aperture, f1.8. See how that blurs nicely. I love those photos with kind of a landscape feel to them, but you've got that thin depth of field look to it. Another similar photo, kind of a winding path this time. Then some human structure photography. Nice sharp lines of the power line, whatever it's called. But nice sharp photo. It's not just a simple angle, it's got some uniqueness to it. This one too, kind of a macro type photo. I took this because I love the texture of this tire track, and then kind of the contrast between that and the snow. The last photo here is with some corn stalks that were cut down. Again with the larger aperture. This was f2.8. So you've got quite a bit of depth here. So you can get some sharpness, but it falls off pretty quickly into the rest of the cornfield. I don't know, I just like the angles and lines of this photo. So that was a recent photo excursion with two of my friends. Just simple, go out and take photos, have some fun, getting some exercise, and then getting home and seeing what results you got. It's kind of the best way to do it, just to have fun. Thanks.